You ever find yourself stuck in the exact same argument with the same person again and again? It's like you're in a movie you've already seen and you know the ending is gonna be frustrating. Well, today we're gonna pull back the curtain on a hidden psychological trap that might be the real reason why this keeps happening. Right? It feels like you're in a conversational maze where every path just leads back to the same dead end of blame and frustration. Someone's always the bad guy and someone else always ends up feeling hurt. It's exhausting. But here's a wild thought. What if the engine driving this whole cycle isn't actually anger or some big injustice? What if, way down deep, the thing pulling all the strings is fear? Now, to really get this, we have to kind of rewire our whole understanding of what fear even is. Turns out it's not what most of us think. Okay, this is the big idea. Fear isn't about what's happening to you right now. It's basically a ghost. It's the memory of some old pain that our brain takes and projects onto what might happen in the future. So we're not reacting to reality, we're reacting to a painful memory we're afraid of repeating. I mean, think about that. We aren't actually afraid of what's out there. We're terrified of the horror movie we're directing and starring in inside our own heads. It's all an inside job. So if fear is this private movie we're playing on a loop, how does it escape our minds and start messing up our relationships? Well, that's where something called the judgment cycle comes in. And this is exactly how it happens, how fear basically creates the very thing we're afraid of. You see, it starts with that little flicker of worry, right? That worry snowballs into obsessive, fearful thoughts. And if you think those thoughts long enough, they harden into solid beliefs about the world. And from there, our actions just follow the script. And boom, we've created the exact mess we were trying to avoid. It's like a chain reaction. First, fear kicks in, making us feel vulnerable. So, naturally, we crave safety. That desire for safety creates this intense need to control our environment. And what's the fastest, easiest tool our mind grabs to get control? Judgment. We start slapping labels on everything, good, bad, right, wrong, all just to feel like we've got a handle on things. This is such a great little life hack. Seriously, next time you catch yourself judging someone, or even yourself, just hit pause for a second and ask, okay, what am I actually afraid of right now? The judgment is just the symptom. The fear is the real cause. Okay, so we've got this engine of fear and judgment running inside of us. Now let's talk about the stage where we act all this stuff out with other people. It's famously known as the drama triangle. This model, first thought up by Stephen Karpman, is brilliant because it maps out the three predictable and totally dysfunctional roles we fall into when conflict starts. But as you're about to see, these roles are anything but simple. So first, you've got the victim. This is the poor me role. They feel completely powerless, like life is just happening to them. Then there's the perpetrator, the one with the pointing finger, always blaming and criticizing. And finally, you have the rescuer, the hero who swoops in to save the day. But often, in doing so, they accidentally keep the victim helpless. But, and this is the absolute key, these are not personality types. They are just roles we play. And we switch between them all the time, sometimes in the same conversation. The victim lashes out and suddenly becomes the perpetrator. The rescuer gets fed up and starts feeling like a victim. It's a total mess. And what's fueling this chaotic dance? You guessed it, our old friend, fear. Every single role is just a different tactic our subconscious uses to try to feel safe and in control. The whole thing is a game that nobody really wins. All right, so if we're all caught in this exhausting game, is there a way out? Yes. The good news is there's an escape hatch. And it all starts when you decide to stop playing the part you've been assigned. So that's the big question, right? If this is a cycle that fuels itself with our own fear, how in the world do you break it? How do you get off this merry-go-round of misery for good? Well, the way out has a few key steps. First, you've got to see the fear behind the drama. Then, you have to actively choose to be aware instead of just reacting on autopilot. That awareness gives you the power to let go of that desperate need to control everyone. And the final boss move? You drop the judgment that powers the whole machine. And when we actually start to do this, it's about so much more than just ending arguments. It's really about stepping into a completely different and much more peaceful way of living. See, getting out of the drama triangle isn't about learning how to be a better victim or a smarter perpetrator. It's about finally seeing the game for what it is and just putting the controller down. You just choose not to play anymore. And when we do that, when we finally release that fear, something incredible happens. We stop reacting to the scary movie in our heads and start actually living in the real world. We trade all that drama for peace, confusion for clarity, and all that conflict for real, genuine human connection. So I'll leave you with this to chew on. If fear wasn't calling the shots anymore, if you weren't making decisions just to avoid some old pain, what would you choose to do differently, starting right now?